Now, put down your coffee, stop reading, and forget about whatever drama the Kardashians are creating this week. What I'm about to reveal makes celebrity rumors seem like elementary school recess. This is a Greek tragedy in full, complete with satin trunks, not just a boxing tale. Inoue Naoya, the monster. And believe me when I say that most guys choose Pitbull, Tank, or Destroyer as their boxing nicknames. However, Inoue, Monster was his first choice because Soul Collector seemed to be too subdued. And he didn't just win this fight. Oh, boy, he did more than simply knock someone out. In real time, he erased a man's career. The brutality of this knockout makes Mortal Kombat deaths seem like pillow fights. This type of KO ought to include a trigger warning and a coupon for a treatment session. I'm talking about dignity being regained, spirits being ejected, and bones being rocked. The fans did not simply gasp. They memed it into eternity, yelled, and played it again. Was this Naoya's most brutal knockout ever? Began the rumors. Yes, spoiler alert. You won't look at boxing highlights the same way after hearing about the entire controversy. The build-up and the cultural earthquake it produced. We must set the scene before we plunge into the knockout that the world has heard about. Since this wasn't a chance punch. This was the result of months of rumors, skepticism, and, of course, hate-mongers venting their frustrations. For those who are unaware, the closest thing Japan has to a real-life superhero is Naoya Inoue. He is untouchable. In addition to being undefeated, his record reads like the plot of a horror film. Competitors come into the ring with confidence, and as a doctor shines a flashlight in their eyes, they exit the ring wondering about their life decisions. The man's accuracy makes snipers envious, and he possesses speed like a Red Bull hummingbird and strength in every punch. The scandal, however, is that prior to this specific altercation, the critics began to chirp louder than summertime cicadas. Inoue was overrated, they said. They asserted that he's only fighting smaller guys. His strength won't translate. You know the routine, the same rehashed criticisms of Mayweather, Pacquiao, and even Canelo from the past. The insulting icing on the cake was when the opponent began making fun of Inoue. Yes, you did hear me. With that arrogant, I just watched Rocky 5 times bravado, Inoue's opponent strolled about news conferences. He laughed about exposing the monster, made comments about Inoue's physique, and even asserted that he would be the one to bring Japan's golden child low. The audience let out a gasp. Reporters drooled. What about Inoue? He simply sat there, staring into the man as if he were already dead. Things became more chaotic once the winds were released. The bully attempted to scare Inoue by pressing his forehead on his, a huge error. Inoue did not recoil, not a single blink. The smile was deadpan and icy, essentially saying, "Enjoy your last night with a working jaw." You could use it to butter toast since the tension was so intense. Then came the night of the battle. The venue was crowded with fans. Social media took off. Did the monster eventually come to light at this point? Might the hype train go awry? Or would Inoue haphazardly add another person to his list of destructive highlights this evening? The bell rung, and in a few minutes it became evident that the loudmouth's future was not bright. Inoue was more violent, quicker, and sharper. Desperate for approval, the challenger swung wildly as Inoue tore him apart like a biology project. Then came the punch. Have you ever witnessed a furious, insane sporting event where time seems to slow down? That's what took place here. Physics applied for unemployment after the second Inoue released that right hand. With the kind of accuracy that NASA engineers can only hope for, the punch made a clean contact. The challenger's legs deserted him more quickly than politicians violate their pledges. His torso tensed, and his eyes rolled back. For half a second, the arena fell silent. Then it sprang forth. Panic screams, gasps, flashes of the camera. Inoue stood over him with the composure of a guy who had just left work, while the wretched opponent struck the canvas like a fallen tree. Still, the rerun. God. Oh God. Each time, it appeared worse. Sweat sprayed like a water balloon exploding. In the slow motion, like a gunshot, the sound reverberated. Even pundits found it difficult to express their feelings. Oh my goodness, that's it. It's finished. He's out. He is left. What about the memes? Classics in a flash. One depicted Inoue knocking on weight class doors in the role of the Grim Reaper. Another got the image of Long Live the King from the Lion King photo shopped onto his opponent. Before the man even woke up, Twitter dubbed it the KO of the year. TikTok's edits of anime theme songs have received millions of views. But there was also indignation. Those who had questioned Inoue frantically sought justifications. The other person wasn't prepared, I say. It was a fortunate shot, please. Similar to how a hurricane is just bad weather, the punch was the result of luck. It is not Inoue's luck. He wears 8-ounce gloves and commits precision murder. Celebrities have their say. Respect that boy Inoue is a cold killer, tweeted Conor McGregor. He was described as a throwback monster by Mike Tyson, which is like to receiving a knighthood from the Pope of Pain. Even random rappers added their voices. Since it seems that boxing and clout go hand in hand, the opponent, in the meantime, carted out, stunned, bewildered, and their dignity erased forever. His trash talk prior to the battle lasted as long as bad milk. On TikTok, clips showing him making fun of Inoue were spliced next to the KO, creating gruesome before and after collages. Not only did public opinion turn against him, but it also buried him deep. What about Naoya? As cool as ice. No raucous. Revelry, no slander. Just the silent, menacing atmosphere of a man who is aware of his imminence. There is no scream from the monster. He's not a gloat. Like he's out grocery shopping, he simply destroys, gathers scalps, and goes on. This KO had a devastating effect. Boxing fans were shook, not just pleased. Once dismissing Inoue as overhyped, analysts now rush to place him in the top 3-pound, 4-pound. Discussions on is Inoue, the most dangerous puncher alive, broke out on YouTube, DAZN, and ESPN. Could he defeat fighters who were 2 weight classes heavier than him? The level of hype was enormous. What about Japan? It wasn't just a knockout. It was a moment for the country. Every news channel showed snippets of the KO. On playgrounds, children acted it out without the brain trauma. In their speeches, politicians even mentioned it, referring to Inoue as proof of Japanese spirit. By now, without the cape, the guy was almost a Marvel hero. The career of the opponent in ruins, the sponsors left. He was often clowned by fans. Remember Inoue? Was the response he received each time he shared something on social media. Not only was his brand harmed, it was destroyed by a nuclear blast. The guy who might expose Inoue was replaced by the guy who got folded like origami. And boxing fans never forget that. I promise you. The deeper effect, however, is that KO changed how people perceived Inoue. The smaller guy with hype is no longer there. He was now regarded as the top predator in boxing. He was rumored to have fought up several divisions, taken on more illustrious opponents, and turned into an all-time great. And that knockout, the vicious, spin-tingling finish that left everyone gasping, would be replayed in every highlight package and subsequent bout. Even competitors shifted their positions. Soon, fighters who had previously made fun of Inoue began to show respect. All of a sudden, rather than prodding the monster, everyone wanted to refer to him as a legend. Are they to blame? Nobody wants to be the next body to be added to his KO museum or the next meme. What about the fans? He was crowned. this wasn't. Only Inoue's best KO in their opinion. His declaration to the world was, "I am inevitable." What about the terrifying part? His best years are yet to come. He is still honing his weapons. I'm still hungry. This suggests that the next brutal knockout ever could be imminent. Action call about 300 words. And there it is. The brutal knockout that destroyed a career, broke the internet, and cemented Naoya Inoue's place in boxing history. He woke up. 2 bright lights and a doctor asking, "Do you know what day it is?" After his opponent made fun of him, questioned him, and attempted to clown the monster. I'd like to hear from you now. Do you have another monster moment that tops this one? Or was this Inoue's best KO ever? Don't be shy and leave it in the comments. Let's make this comment area a battlefield for boxing fans. Shatter that button like Inoue shattered that jaw. Though, before you do that, I want to destroy that button. Hook it into the canvas, jab it, or uppercut it. Additionally, as this channel is about more than just boxing, please hit subscribe. Drama, intrigue, mayhem, and the kinds of tales that make fight nights seem like Hollywood blockbusters are all part of it. Keep in mind that we reveal the fights. They would want you not to witness the scandals they are trying to hide and the historic knockouts every week. Here, we reveal legends in real time rather than merely telling stories. Keep an eye out because if this was Inoue's most vicious knockout to yet, you can only imagine what the monster has in store for you next. The Legends Boxing is here, where legends emerge, egos fall, and each punch has a backstory.